Example 3. Let's look at a stem leaf that's already given because our real goal is to really master interpreting graphs, not necessarily making them. So we have people with diabetes are monitoring their blood glucose level in this study, and their main goal is for their fasting glucose to be between 90 and 130 milligrams per deciliter. Whether we fully understand it or not, we'll try to interpret this from the graph. So we had 18 patients, and we recorded their data in this stem leaf. So notice it says leaf unit equals 10. So that means the first row isn't the number 8. It means it's 80 because it's 8 tens. And then the second row is really 100, 100, 100 because that's 10 tens. The next one is 11 tens. So that would be 110. So basically we're taking all the digits and we're just adding a 0 because these are all in the tens place. So these are my tens place. So the hardest part is interpreting these when the numbers are a little funny. So this is 110, and then take a guess on the next one. So it would be 13. It's not 13. It's 130 and 140, right? So see if you can kind of check out the next ones, like 150. We don't need to write them all out. Maybe I will just because it's notes, but it's not something we have to do. There's 4 150s, 160, 170, 170. I think once you figure out a row or two, you can kind of see the pattern. So the next row, I see the number 20, but again, remember it's 20 tens. So it's actually 200, and then we get 260, 270, and then the last row is a really high number at 360 for 36 tens. So basically we're taking all these numbers and we're just adding a 0 because right here it tells me the leaf unit is the tens. If we wanted to do class descriptions, which it's not asking, this first row again isn't 0 through 9. It's really 50 through 99, right? This next row is like 100 through 149, although the numbers look rounded because of the tens, but that's the idea. But let's see if we can answer some questions now. See if we can interpret these graphs a little bit. So if we're given the stem plot and we're curious if there's any outliers, and then we also want to know just as a whole, are these patients meeting their goal? So outliers are something that stands out. So when I look at this curve, if you were to turn your note sideways, you might see a little bit of a right skewed distribution. You might have to turn your paper sideways because we have a tail on the right side. It also means if I have outliers, they're probably on the right side. Is there anything that stands out as an outlier? So for me, when I look at this, maybe the 360 is an outlier because it's pretty far away. We could tell it's far away if we look at the individual values. It's much bigger. And we can also tell it's a little bit far away from everything on the graph. So 360 is an outlier. So that's a really high blood glucose level. So we might want to have this person come back in because it's definitely much higher than everyone else. And then our final question is, how well is the group at achieving the goal? So what was the goal? We'll have to go back to this long paragraph. And the goal is right here. Are they between 90 and 130? So 90 and 130. Not very many of them. So 80 doesn't make it. 80 is a little too low. All of these make it, and then 130 makes it. So really only this tiny little group here is meeting the goal. So visually I can tell, no, they're not doing a very good job. So I can tell that pretty quickly just from looking at the graph because it's only a few numbers out of everyone. If you wanted to calculate the percent achieving the goal, just to have a little bit more concrete measurement, that's only 5 of the patients, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it was out of 18. You could count to confirm it's 18, but it's 5 out of 18. That's definitely not a very good amount. It's only 27%. meeting the goal. So I would say 27% is not good as a whole group, right? We would want that number to definitely be higher. So hopefully this is helping us interpret stem leaves. I think it's very important to pay attention to this, the leaf unit. And it just tells me the leaf unit, this unit. So all of these are in the tens place again. So it's not 8, it's 8 tens. That's how I got 80. It's not 26, it's 26 tens. That's how I got 260. Just reminding you this because I think this is the hardest part, is when the leaf unit changes.